What is the one experience that you're like, okay, this is yoga. I'm coming back. Do you remember that one? Well, or a piece of it, something that happened when you were in a yoga class.
Yeah, I think for me, it was when I went into that meditation space, and I just was like in the space between being here on earth and being in another plane, wherever that is, where you go, where my mind was just completely blank, and I was in the zone. And I think actually there was a yin yoga class that I took once with Carrie Kaufman that I don't even remember the class. Like when it was over, I was like, I don't even remember taking that class. It was so zen. It was like, wow, we just did yoga for an hour and a half.
And how did you feel after class?
Just unbelievable. Just so relaxed, able to handle anything. For me, though, I think that's a really good piece, but also for me, I have a really tight body. So I think the ability to be able to stretch out my body and the different types of yoga that I've tried have been also very beneficial because I am really tight. And it's hard to open up my shoulders and it's hard to open up my hips. Like most people seem to have an easier time in a typical yoga class.
And that's a big piece of it, the stretching piece of it. But the part that when you spoke of what happened when you were in Kerry's class.
Yeah, that's amazing. For me, it just made me want to find that again. You could relate it to an addiction, right? It just was that feeling of bliss, of being in the perfect place at that moment, and then being able to take that with you to your next moments in life and then come back to get that again. I don't always get that. Some places that I take yoga, I don't get it at all. I don't get any colors in my head. But I've also gotten really good at being able to get it more often than I ever had. And I think that's just practicing it.
On your own.
On my own. Or in a space that's loud. Like if there's distractions going on, I'm still able to like leave the distractions now. Which that took a really long time to be able to do that.
So it wasn't necessarily your first class.
No.
But more or less your first yoga experience.
Yeah.
And that's another thing that I'm finding too. It doesn't necessarily have to be your very first class, but what something makes it different. One time when you go to one class, it's not exercise anymore.
I think Wendy, when she touched me, she did some Reiki on me, and when she did that, I was just like, "Wow, what just happened?"
And it becomes not exercise.
No, it's not exercise. It's brain or size. For me, it's brain or size.